Hey, what's up guys? So we got another character trailer to break down. I didn't break down Cronin because he ended up being in the second beta anyway, so there wasn't a point in analyzing stuff that everyone was gonna find out about soon. But with Maximo, we probably won't get to try him out until February, so let's take a look at what we got here. Alright, so he's got a new tackle special, and I would imagine that this is probably going to be a quarter circle forward special because that's one motion that he doesn't have in his move list currently. So what do we know about this move? First of all, it's got armor. You can see in the clip with King of Dinosaur, he blows through the standing blowback. Secondly, we know that it can combo from a light normal because in the clip with Ramon, you could see that it combos off of close A. Now between the two clips, you can see there's a huge difference in startup time. So we're probably looking at two different versions. The one he's using against King of Dinosaurs is probably the heavy version with armor in it. And in the clip with Ramon, we're probably seeing the light version that's quick enough to combo off of light normals, but it probably doesn't have armor or maybe has less armor. Either way, this is a really good new special for Maxima because in 14, the only special he can combo into from lights is his command grab. But it's not a viable combo route for him because his run speed and jump speed doesn't allow for the rushdown pressure that is better suited for, someone like Clark or Angel. His approach is more from mid-range with, vapor cannons, get the hard knockdown, get up in your face, but even then, comboing into vapor cannon is simply the better option in most scenarios. Now, someone could say, well, he could combo from crouching B to A to down forward C, but the problem with that is the range issue, and what I mean is that sometimes if you're not close enough, the down forward C is going to whiff. So an experienced Maximo player is just going to opt for one jab into down forward C, which works, but you're not going to get the low hit, so it's not ideal. But with this special, you can keep things simple and safer and just go into tackle, which looks like it might provide a hard knockdown, but we'll just have to wait and see. Another good potential use for this move is having a new way to get in on the opponent. So instead of armoring from a distance with Vapor Cannon, you can now armor on your way in. Now of course it all depends on how punishable this move is, which again we just have to wait and see what the properties are like. Alright, so they also show the EX version of this move, but there's not much we can analyze from this. The only thing we do know is that it causes a sliding knockdown on an aerial opponent, and it's fast enough to combo off of EX Vapor Cannon's wall bounce. But what we don't know is if it still has armor, does a combo from lights, is the property on hit different on a grounded opponent, so like for example does it crumple instead. So again, another thing to just wait and see on. So EX Vapor Cannon doesn't cause a ground bounce anymore, at least on an aerial opponent. We don't get to see what it does to a grounded opponent, but it's probably safe to assume that it's the same property. And if that's the case, then it's a potential nerf because in this game, he would have been able to do instant air EX Vapor Cannon out of max mode and then combo afterwards. Even if the opponent were to try to backdash or try to jump out, it would still catch and ground bounce them. And I think they made this change because of the freedom of using EX moves whenever you want. And Maxima's EX moves, in my opinion, are probably some of the most dangerous ones. Like EX Vapor Cannon, for example, comes out super fast, wall bounces, and it reaches really far. EX Command Grab, which is a hit and not a grab on the EX version, but again, it comes out really fast, carries you to the wall. And just those two moves alone were such a huge threat in 13. Now imagine on top of that you have EX Vapor Cannon, which blows through almost every reversal in the game and gives you a combo afterwards for just half a bar. So it seems pretty ridiculous when you put it in that perspective, and I think SNK had enough foresight to kind of recognize that that would be an issue, and they preemptively balanced it out to make it fair. So that's really it, just two changes from what we can see in the trailer. Now again, I don't think it's disappointing or bad that some characters don't change all that much from 14 because the freedom of using EX moves whenever you want is already a huge game changer. So anything new that we get for any character is just a plus in my books, and so far SNK has really delivered. Alright, so now let's talk about the remaining roster. So if you guys don't already know, there's a recent leak of the remaining characters which included their in-game renders. And Maximo's render matches what was shown in the leak, which is probably why SNK didn't bother with the silhouette last night. So to me that pretty much confirms that the remaining two characters are Kula and Elizabeth, which again is not a huge surprise to a lot of people who have been speculating. So I'm completely fine with this. Kula is one of my favorite characters alongside Athena. I played a lot of Elizabeth in 13, and she was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to both of their trailers. And after they review the last character, whether that's Kula or Elizabeth, I think we're probably gonna have one last beta in January, probably on the 21st. That would make sense because, one beta in November, one in December, one in January, and then finally we get our hands on the game in February. So speaking of the beta, my feedback is that this game is already shaping up to be a really good KoF game, if not the best, because being able to use EX moves whenever you want, like in 13, is such a huge game changer. And when you combine that with max mode, quick max, and the fact that every character has more combo flexibility in 15, it makes every character way more fun to play because everyone has similar access to the same levels of damage. So because of that, I don't feel like any character is particularly too strong or too weak. And yeah, sure, it is only 2 betas, but at the same time, it's also 16 characters. And if I feel this way about 40% of the roster, it's probably safe to assume for the rest of the cast. So yeah, really liking it. Really can't wait for this game to come out. Anyways, that's it for this breakdown. Until next time.